poppin'? Yeah, salute, salute. Official JB, salute. Gunga, baby. Happy B-Day, homie. Pilato. Rayleon Rivera, salute. Abdul Shakur. Eli Delgado. Facts. Banks Young Gun, salute. Facts. Tipsy. DJ Shook Mine in the building. What's poppin'? Iraq 152 to 5. You already know. Patrick. What's poppin'? So we got a couple of things to talk about today. Um, First and foremost, if you see, like I said yesterday, I was in here putting that twerk in. Thank Ladybug too. She helped me. You know what I'm saying? We was up in here throwing all these pads up. Then I had to put this thing together right here. It's like a bunch of stuff. I still ain't finished. I still gotta do the floor. You know what I mean? But you already know, man. It's in the process. You heard? It's in the process. It's like I told y'all in the beginning. I said, yo, I'm gonna do it live. I'm gonna do it so y'all can see it. Y'all done seen how I went from the attic, all that other stuff, that and the third. And this is to the people that when they come home, they say, yo, it's hard for us because we got criminal convictions of this, that, and the third. This is to show them that that's only an excuse that we make that hinders us from being creative and achieving. Salute Felicia Cortez. See what I'm saying? This is why I did it on camera. Y'all remember I was in the attic at one time. You know what I'm saying? With the spiders and all the other stuff. Then from there, you know what I'm saying? Got myself a job. See what I'm saying? Got that paycheck every week, paid my bills, plus at the same time saves on the side so that I can do what I gotta do, you heard? That's a fact, Wild Bull Terrier. I built it. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, it ain't finished. That's a fact, Gunga, baby. You already know. You know. See, it's easy to be here when you already are successful. You know. But when you gotta show the people trials and tribulations or whatever, then it makes it a whole lot different. Now they be like, man, or I remember when someone was in the attic, he was doing jump offs out the telly. Lucifer the Spartan, salute. It's a fact. Facts about that. You know what I'm saying? I did some in the woods. I went out there, started interviewing people, you know what I mean, train hoppers, all types of stuff. You know? It just goes to show that a lot of times we make excuses. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have that rhino mentality, man. That rhino mentality is like when people be like, yo, Cat, how can you have been undefeated all this time? The rhino mentality. You know, the rhino is he's ready to charge at any second. Don't come in his path. If you in his path, he's charging. So in order to get to where you gotta get to, you gotta charge like a rhino. Ah, my boy Sharif Bey in the building. Uh-huh. You know I'm throwing that up. You know what I'm saying? Facts, DJ Shook Bright. No shortcuts, man. I had to earn everything. But I like it like that. Ain't nothing better than when you done earned it. Can't nobody say nothing. You know what I'm saying? But now you see it. I'm putting it all together. You know what I mean? In a minute, I'm gonna be done. And then that EP gonna come through like a tech. Salute the White Bull Terrier. Appreciate you, bro. Salute. Facts. White Bull Terrier in the building. Coming through, setting it off. And make sure you up in here, you punch that like button, man. Let that like button know, man, we got a fist for it today. You know what I'm saying? We got a fist for it today. Word the mother. Appreciate you, white boy. But that's how we do it, man. You know, we do it and we do it through examples. A lot of people that we see nowadays, we seen them when they was up. We ain't seen them when they was down. Because they don't want you to see that part. I felt they gonna see it regardless. So why not just put it there as an example? You know what I mean? And it worked. Now after this, that already snow. After this, the hits come. The hits come. Because if y'all thought that Shots Fired Part 1 was something, man. Nah, bro. That was a little something, you heard? That was me testing out the wiping away the cobwebs, testing out the energy, you heard? And sometimes it takes something to make your energy broaden. Sometimes it takes an experience or something to get you motivated. You know, I know a lot of people remember in Rocky. Bullets Gotti show, salute. I'm coming through tonight, Bullets. Coming through tonight. But yo, I remember in Rocky. Yeah, I remember in Rocky because I had it in one of my I had a little commercial I did for Tales from the WAP side. And if y'all remember, Rocky was at the bottom of the steps. You know what I'm saying? He already agreed that he's gonna go and train in the Russia in the Russian country. You know what I'm saying? Wifey was at the top of the steps looking down on him like, hold up, man. Don't you see what he did to Apollo? She's like, yo, she actually came out and said, yo, you can't win. That's a fact, KO. That's a fact, yo. She said, and son took that, you know, he took that to the heart. He said, oh, word. He took that to the heart. He was like, well, maybe I can win. But I sure would die trying. You know what I'm saying? Hey, yo, I'm telling you, man, it's crazy, bro. You know what I mean? So you went. The boy Lloyd Banks putting in work. Oh, that's what's up. I like Lloyd Banks. Lloyd Banks got a flow with him. But that's how it happens. You know what I'm saying? Like, it takes a situation. It takes a situation, man. And KO said testosterone hit a million. Yeah, son. It took that situation right there. For one motivation to another. His friend's death and his wife's doubt. That was enough to say, hold up, man. It's on and popping now. It's me against the world. So he went out there, was training all in the snow. This dude had all the equipment. If y'all remember, he had everything state of the art, plus injections. Clank, all that. Someone was over there doing pull-ups and all that, sit-ups off the air and all that crazy. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So this is the example right here. And I guarantee you, this EP that I'm about to drop, it's gonna be the hottest thing out there, man. No disrespect to anybody, because I got a lot of people in the industry I fucks with that got mad good music. But I'm just saying, man, this right here is gonna be, it's coming out the garage on fire. Possess. This is called possessive music. Top of the mountain like Drago. Yeah, I'm telling you, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, man, it's not gonna be a game when this EP drop. This EP gonna be ridiculous. You know. But there was a couple of things that we needed to talk about. But before I went into today's topics. The thing about is I just wanted to show, because yesterday when I was building this whole stuff behind me and then all around me, I'm building and I'm saying to myself, like, yo, you know what I'm saying? In the little bit of time, you can do the most of things. You see what I'm saying? Some people it takes them longer, some people it don't. But in a little bit of time, you can do the most of things. Who would have thought that within a year, we look where we at? You see what I'm saying? So all those things I take into consideration, man. You know what I mean? But I wanted y'all to see something, because this was sent to me, and when it was sent to me, I was saying to myself, yo, I did a live on this before. But now somebody came and broke it down, and they did their little, take dibble and dabble into the same thing that I said I was talking about. But what they did, salute Reginald Brown, salute Dizzle B4 Millie, to the Stone, that Stone salute. So they video, and I was looking at it, spoke about some things that I didn't get to touch upon, because I'm not going to speak on something unless I got evidence on. So y'all got to see this joint right here, because this joint right here, you know what I'm saying, it definitely was interesting to me. I don't know if y'all seen it. Maybe some of y'all saw it, but this right here is for real. Somebody just got Frank there. Hold up. Time out. All right, here it is. Now check this joint out right here. This joint out right here is deep. Somebody just got Frank's, but y'all gotta see this.
$3.7 million transferred to the Wuhan laboratory by the National Institute of Health during the Obama administration under Fauci is now under investigation. The president just announced it. Take a look.
Thank you, Mr. President. U.S. intelligence is saying this week that the coronavirus likely came from a level 4 lab in Wuhan. There's also another report that the NIH, under the Obama administration in 2015, gave that lab $3.7 million in a grant. Why would the U.S. give a grant like that to China?
The Obama administration gave them a grant of $3.7 million. I've been hearing about that. And we've instructed that if any grants are going to that area, we're looking at it literally about an hour ago, and also early in the morning. We will end that grant very quickly, but it was granted quite a while ago. They were granted a substantial amount of money. We're going to look at it and take a look, but I understand it was a number of years ago, right?
So you are.
When did you hear was the grant was made?
2015.
2015. Who was president then? I wonder.
So this is huge, huge news. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, we have a video on the channel right now that is going mega viral. Okay. It's my interview with Dr. Buttar. And he talks about the $3.7 million, what that money did, and how Fauci got around the Department of Homeland Security order to stop doing testing on coronaviruses in the United States. Listen to this. What I think you're talking about is the moratorium that was placed, and then $3.7 million from the National Institute of Health was transferred to China so they could continue this research, even though the moratorium. So they basically outsourced this research to China. Is this the same topic we're talking about here? This news is just breaking?
Yes, this is exactly right. So it goes back to 2014. The U.S. government decided, based upon certain virologists at that time, saying that, look, there's no justification for this kind of research. There's a potential for it to cause harm, cause a pandemic. So there's no justification for us to do this type of research. So the government passed a moratorium in 2014. Fauci approved approved budgets to be monies to be sectioned for this type of research. So basically, and I'm getting really, every time I think about this, it gets me really flustered because I'm so angry that he basically broke the law. He more than broke the law. He created this entire cascade that we're seeing with the world shutdown was created by this initial aspect back in 2015. He broke the law. He went against government moratoriums. He took taxpayer money and he funded research that has now led to the COVID-19. In 2017, he was documented at Georgetown University saying that there will be a pandemic that this presidency will face, that this term will face. How did he know that in 2017 that something was going to happen in 2018, 19, or 2020? You can't predict the market from 3 days from today, what's going to happen. How did he know that there was going to be a pandemic? He stated the president of this president will face a pandemic. The exact quotes, I don't want to say the exact words. You guys have the video footage. My point is that
there is no question that there will be a challenge to the coming administration in the arena of infectious diseases, both chronic infectious diseases in the sense of already ongoing disease, and we have certainly a large burden of that. But also there will be a surprise outbreak. There will be a surprise outbreak. There will be a surprise outbreak.
When somebody starts making these type of statements, and then they were involved with the breaking of the law to fund the research that American taxpayers paid for, that then goes to Wuhan and now trying to create this diversion and say that it's China.
That was just a clip of the larger 45-minute interview. I will link to it down below. You need to see the full interview for the full perspective. But the good news is that Congressman Matt Gaetz is also onto this. Okay, he went on Tucker Carlson and just took China to task and talked about the money that you are paying with your taxpayer dollars to fund the Chinese labs that are creating these pandemics. Listen to this.
So at best, Americans are funding people who are lying to us, and at worst, we're funding people who we knew had problems handling pathogens, who then birthed a monster virus onto the world.
Follow the money. And it leads right back to Fauci and then right back to the National Institute of Health underneath the Barack Obama administration, friends. Okay? There you have it. How do we get here? Maybe we should ask Barack Obama. Maybe we should put Fauci on trial and ask him what's going on. How did that money go through? You know, he actually addressed the question about if the virus was man-made. And I'm going to show you the clip here. He was, the guy's never lost for words, but he knows he's under the microscope right now because the president's about to investigate that money and where it went, how it got there, and now he's sweating bullets. Watch this clip.
Ask Dr. Fauci, could you address these suggestions or concerns that this virus was somehow man-made, possibly came out of a laboratory in China? You studied this virus. What are the prospects of that?
There was a study recently that we can make available to you where a group of highly qualified evolutionary virologists looked at the sequences there and the sequences in bats as they evolve. And the mutations that it took to get to the point where it is now is totally consistent with a jump of a species from an animal to a human. So, I mean, the paper will be available. I don't have the authors right now, but we can make that available to you.
So he's still maintaining that this thing was just jumping species or whatever he says. But we know that there were studies on coronavirus that were done in the United States. If there's anybody that knows, it's Fauci. He knows exactly what that thing is, okay? Because they were studying it here in the United States, and then they shipped it off to China when the DHS said stop. So I'm going to show you another clip here of Dr. Buttar again, and this time he takes it to the next level. And I think he's saying what a lot of people are thinking right now. Listen.
Is Fauci directly responsible for this pandemic because he maneuvered the money, he maneuvered around the moratorium, kept this chimeric research going in China? Is he directly responsible for not just the pandemic but also the response that's killed the economy, put 17 to 22 million people out of work? Is Fauci directly responsible?
I'm going to say this. I think that I've seen some petitions going around. I know Dr. Shiva said that Fauci should be fired. I think that's the nicest thing that could be done to Fauci. I think he should. He's a criminal. He's broken the law. He's gone against the government. I mean, to me, that seems like it's a traitorous thing to do when the government has passed a regulation and he's at one of the highest levels in the NIH. He's got a directorship at the NIH, and then he breaks the law. He breaks the moratorium, and then funds research against something that could potentially cause harm throughout the entire world, and he's in collusion with the foreign government.
So now you have Fauci colluding with the foreign government during the Obama administration, funding coronavirus studies at a Wuhan lab with your money. Now, thankfully, I'm going to throw it back to the president here. Just earlier, just a couple hours ago, he said he's going to be taking a look at the money. And they got a lot of money in the National Institute of Health budget, a lot. He details how much money, and then he goes back and says, we're going to take a look at the $3.7 million that Fauci approved to send to China. Listen to this.
And NIH is giving away a lot of money, We give away for many years, they give away a lot of money. And some people complain and some people don't. Some people are extremely happy. So we're looking into that also. They're giving away approximately, as I understand it, recently more than $32 billion a year. $32 billion. And so we've been looking at that for a while, and we're going to be having some statements to be made about that. $32 billion a year. It's a lot of money, and we want to make sure it's being spent wisely. And we've been doing that, by the way. And we'll have some statements on that. And those are much bigger numbers than what we're talking about with national. If you look at with our friends from wherever they come from, 500 million is a lot of money, but it's not a lot compared to the kind of money that we give out. I think over the years, it's been averaging about $32 billion. $32 billion. So we've had our eye on that one for a while. We also talked about the lab in China, where I guess 3.7 million was given some time ago. And we're looking at that very closely. Chief of Staff has that pretty much under control. But it's money that, too bad it got spent there. but that was spent, what year was that, Mark? It was 4 or 5 years ago.
Over the last 6 years.
6 years ago, approximately. So we're looking at that.
So I told you it's good news. This is a really good development. We're getting closer to accountability here, and that's where we want to be. Okay? Your taxpayer dollars being shipped off to China, creating the pandemic itself. It is unacceptable and it is criminal.
Brothers, you don't know this maybe, but white folk know their world is coming down. And they are so upset that their world is coming down that if their world goes out, they intend to take everybody down with it. So the evil of the wicked scientists of death. So white folk have decided, look, I don't care if we get some of our own, we'll get them too. There's no way out, brother. You can beat your tambourine. You can go to church and shout. But if you don't change your lifestyle,
Yeah. So now remember, this had to be about 7 lives ago. Remember, we already had got to the bottom that the coronavirus had a patent. And because I had a patent, it's basically telling you it's man-made. Now, all the information is coming out as regards to who was involved. Because remember, they was testing it, and people that had bread were the people that was investing in it. Because it's always a factor of what's the new way to win. But it always costs. It's expensive. Some wins are expensive. So when they say what's the new way to win, they got to make sure it's not cost effective. I think so too, Top Shot Shakur. I think so too. You know, I look at it from like this, right? Look at, you know, in certain presidential eras, we had a lot of stuff that happened, especially to the people that were incarcerated, that went blind eye. You know that, right? There was a lot of things that went down that went blind eye. A lot of people didn't get to see it. Like, for example, when they made these harsh crack laws back then, and you got dudes sitting up in prison doing murder numbers for little vials of crack. Here's a dude, he caught a body, he killed somebody, he doing 25. Here's a dude that got caught with like 2-3 vials of crack, and he doing 15. You see what I'm saying? But a lot of people never got to really, only the parents of those incarcerated, those that were incarcerated, the wives, the girlfriends, the sons, the daughters of those incarcerated, those were the ones that felt and knew what was going on. Everybody else, they didn't know or could care unless they had somebody that was in that situation. See what I'm saying? And one thing I always look through is in these every president, I look at their lifestyle. I look at the things that they said. I was doing it with Trump joint. Before Trump became president, when he was, going at it with Hillary, I was listening to what they were saying. I was looking at Trump like, And I was looking at Hillary, and I was saying to myself, and not saying that either is an enemy. Don't think it that way. I say to myself, if I had to have an enemy, which one would be more dangerous? And I would say it was Hillary. Because she's keeping it professional and she's keeping it fundamental. While Trump was just going off. You know what I'm saying? He was just going off. He went up there on some, yo, all that professional stuff, cool. Check this out. It's this, that, and the third. Boom, boom, boom. You see what I'm saying? So he's letting you know. He's putting you on point. You know what I'm saying? It's just one of them things that when you sit down and you decipher them, you say to yourself, whoa. Remember, and we spoke about this mad lives ago. And that was coming out. We just ain't know who's the name they was gonna put as the person responsible. Like the brother said, accountability. You know what I'm saying? That's a fact, Top Shot Shakur. It's a fact. You know, and as I was looking through this presidential, now remember, I don't know if y'all saw it, but at the same time that they had the presidential campaign thing going on, they had a show called American Horror Story. You know what I'm saying? And if y'all looked at it, that had to do with the presidential debate thing too. He formed his own version of being in one of those political debate type of things where you get power. I don't know if y'all saw it. It's called American Horror Story. I forgot the name of that. That they was one of the last ones because they don't give it no more. But it's the one with the kid. You know what I'm saying? He made his own like cult type thing after he became like a senator or something. I watched all seasons of it. Oh, okay, KO. So you know which one I'm talking about. They still giving it? I didn't know they were still giving it. Ray Leon Rivera said Hillary was involved in the government for 16 years. Hell yeah. Dangerous woman. That's a G right there. But you gotta admit, you're not gonna get the information like you're gonna get it from Trump. Trump is putting it all out there. Yes, we're investigating y'all. I put $3 billion into this. All of a sudden, this happens now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's a fact, KO. Lucifer Sparks. I mean, listen. You know what happens a lot of times, and you can tell that it be those type of situations you just can't say it 100%. But it be these scientists that be in these labs, and everything now is about what's lucrative. And you're a scientist in a lab, and you're looking at this germ warfare stuff that you understand. I don't understand that because I never took that type of lessons in school or whatever. That's way above my pay grade, and it's way beyond my I could comprehend it as best as to my knowledge, but them people, this is what they do. So imagine you make up this germ, just like I told y'all in G.I. Joe, they made up these nanobites in this germ that they knew was going to transform people into things that can regenerate and take gunshots and all types of craziness, right? So now, if you're a scientist in the lab, you see a germ, you can say, listen, we could use this as a weapon. Imagine if we use this as a weapon. They'll never beat us. And then they say, yeah. And then when people see it, they say, okay, more domination. All right, let's throw some bread up on that. I'm going to invest in that. You know, it's serious. I mean, it could be a lot of things though, but I'm just saying it be looking like those types of scenarios because, yo, you got the Spanish flu. Did y'all know before the Spanish flu there was another pandemic that lasted a year, and that one took about a mil before the Spanish flu, and then before that we could go all the way back to the Black Plague. That's even more. And then today, right? Today, was it today or last night? No, last night. Last night I'm looking at the statistics now on deaths, right? And Clinton was also in the little total with Epstein doing what you know. Oh, yeah, Papa Saw Money. I read up on that actually. Just recently. Yeah, that's a fact. I believe it too. Pistol Game was an experiment that went wrong. Because I'm telling you, it looks like those types. It deciphers like those types of scenarios. When you look at it, you say to yourself, "Wait a minute," you know, and it's crazy. But the count is what's crazy. They still averaging in New York 320 to 350 deaths a day. Ain't. I was looking at that, now I'm bugging. I'm like, damn, they still mad people dying from that. And you could imagine, of course, the close proximity. The close proximity is gonna keep it around that range. But that's crazy. 320 to 350 deaths a day. That's mad bodies, right? Right, Bull Terrier? That's a lot of bodies. Easy two feathers. That's a fact. I believe that too. The second wave is coming. I know a lot of people say that. But you know what's crazy? Yes. Did you see Brooklyn? 50 bodies were found in 2 U-Haul trucks. Hold up. Who said that one? Pistol Game. Yo, check this out, Pistol Game. Y'all see this joint right here? Dozens of decomposing bodies found in trucks at Brooklyn funeral home. Look at this joint here. It says the funeral home director said he used the trucks for storage after he ran out of space in his chapel. Bodies are coming out of our ears, he said. The call came in at shortly after 11 a.m. on Wednesday. A terrible stench was coming from a pair of trucks parked outside a funeral home on Utica Avenue in Brooklyn. When the police arrived, they made a gruesome discovery. Inside the trucks, a U-Haul rental, and what seemed to be a tractor trailer were several dozen decomposing bodies. The New York State Department of Health, which regulates funeral homes, was also called to the scene in the borough's Flatland section to determine whether the funeral home was handling the remains appropriately, and it issued 2 summonses, according to a law enforcement official briefed on the investigation. The spectacle of dead New Yorkers left to decay in broad daylight in rental trucks on a crowded street in Brooklyn underscored the scale of challenging facing the city as it tries to absorb the effects of the coronavirus pandemic. More than 17,000 people in New York City have died so far from COVID-19, the disease caused by the virus. Mayor de Blasio on Thursday morning described the discovery of the bodies as a horrible situation that was absolutely unacceptable. The T. Cleckley Funeral Home, Eric L. Adams, the Brooklyn Borough president, said that he arrived at the Andrew T. Cleckley Funeral Home around 5:15 p.m. on Wednesday and found police officers and other investigators had sealed off the street like a crime scene and were examining the tractor trailer and the U-Haul. It appeared the truck was full, Mr. Adams said. They were trying to use the U-Haul as a backup. Yo, did you hear that? They was trying to use the U-Haul as a backup. Damn. That's a lot of bodies, y'all. But you got to look at it. If you're getting 320 to 350 bodies a day, where are you putting all these bodies? They already started sending them over there to the island over there. Potter's Island, Potts Island. Sooner or later, they're going to have to go to Hart's Island and start burying them in there. Because we're talking about 300 to 350. Then they're talking about another strain is coming. Yeah, that's another thing. Facts, Potter's Field. That's another thing. Yeah, Banks Young Guns. That's why I don't. Yeah, bro, they got so many bodies, man. It's like now they starting to decompose in trucks because U-Haul truck ain't refrigerated. So those bodies are decomposing as the days go on, the hours go on. Staten Island got it bad too. I live right next door to SI too in Perth Amboy, Middlesex County, New Jersey. Our numbers are high too, over 1,000 here in Amboy. Over 1,000. They even saying that the count that they got ain't right. It's more than what they saying. So if they saying 17,000, they saying no, it's more, over 17,000. Because every time they look, they got bodies popping up somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? This is stuff to think about, y'all. Stuff to think about. But remember we had spoke about this. They found traces of the virus in the air after 2 hours. Smack your face. They found it in the air after 8 hours. What they did was they had these fans that was blowing out moisture, wet moisture in the air. So as the fan was blowing out the wet moisture, like a mist, when it was coming down, they was catching the droplets, picking it up, scooping them up. And as they was testing them, the COVID were in the droplets because when they sent it in the air, it took whatever, like I said yesterday, one day when it's real sunny, stand on the side somewhere where the sun rays coming in and look, you're going to see mad particles in the light. Mad particles. Those particles were breathing and inhaling and exhaling. Potter's Field, their family members, they are protesting because family have no recollection when there are family members missing. Yeah, that's crazy too. Because the way they got them is like they got them buried 3 in one grave. So it'll have a tombstone with 3 names on it. And they put them about, I think they said 2-3 feet down. You know what I'm saying? So gotta stay abreast of these things, y'all. And then I saw when they was talking about, actually, I actually saw it this morning. I saw Andrew Cuomo when he was talking about reopening the non-essential businesses. And it don't look like they're going to open them no time soon. I think they're really going to try to wait till like June or something because it's going to become safety. And in everything, safety always overrules. Big Rage Brujo, he said, hold up. He said, not Cuomo shutting down subways overnight for disinfectant. Oh, that's another thing. That's another thing I saw. Facts. What they saying is, like, you got all them bums on the trains. The new rule is you're only allowed to be in the station for 1 hour. After 1 hour, you got to leave. So you can't stay in the station and then fall asleep on the bench and none of that. That's a wrap. In the cars, too. In the cars, they're not letting a certain amount of people. Like, you ever see them bums? They be having the shopping carts with mad stuff in it. But, they be having all their stuff in there. They're not allowed to bring those down. You can't bring those down into the subway. Word. So you already know. The homeless people are going to go through it right now because now they can't be on the train that long either. So now they got to get on one train, and then if they're there too long and one of the workers sees them, they got to change to another train. And I haven't even checked the shelters joints yet. I haven't even checked those, like Ward's Island, if they got anything going on over there. I haven't checked. Has anybody checked? Because I haven't checked. Oh, whoa. So they got people dying over there on Ward's Island at the shelter. Yeah. They say here a worker at the mental hospital for the criminally insane on Ward's Island has died of the coronavirus. Remember that? Remember that building? Remember? Yeah, this is the crazy joint. But they got the criminally insane, the dudes that, they commit these crimes, which is, if they in here, they officially bogged out. But a lot of them had committed crimes, like real serious crimes. And that's why they got them in there. You know what I'm saying? But they already got somebody that died in there. Among patients sent to Kirby, which treats... Now, check it out. This gives you a breakdown of the people that they got in there. It says, among patients sent to Kirby, which treats criminal defendants who have been judged not responsible for their misdeeds due to mental illness, is Daniel Rockowitz, the butcher of Tompkins Square Park, who was acquitted of murdering, dismembering, and boiling the body parts of Monica Breeley in 1989. And they got some famous dudes up in there. They also saying that a lot of nursing homes, they're using them like mass graves. Because they, in the nursing homes, they're getting a lot of their deaths. Because those are old people that got already ailments. So in those nursing homes, they got sections where they're just sitting in there dying. Or they're just sitting in there about to croak, yo. Serious, man. You know what I'm saying? Serious. But the main thing to do for us as individuals is when we have awareness of something, we still got to remain faithful. Salute, April D. Dallas of Uptown, salute. Viruses are very intelligent. They can think. They do things that we don't expect. They adapt to the environment. They change themselves in order to survive. They have been around longer than us. I believe that, DC Perk. That is a very good point. That is a very good point, DC Perk 67. Very good points. You know what I'm saying? And if you notice, we're cells. Look at us. Look how we adapt. You know what I'm saying? Look how it's the same way we adapt. That's why those cells are living things. %80 of people that was affected was people that were indoors. That means homeless shelters and senior citizens. Yeah, a lot of old people is. This one took a lot of old people, but it took a lot of other people too, bro. I was looking the other day. I saw babies. I saw people that was about 25 years old. I saw a 16-year-old. So you know, it's. And now, if you read about the Black Plague, you know, it's like they all similar. Y'all gotta read. See, I go when I start looking and I start researching, I start reading, I start saying to myself, like, hold up, let me do a little bit of history on this so I can check it out. You know what I'm saying? Gabe Rodriguez, salute, bro. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. So there's a lot. So remember, we spoke about this not too long ago, but now it's coming. It's part of the evolutionary process. Facts. You gotta look at it. I seen this a while ago. I was looking at it and I was researching a while ago, and I was saying to myself, because some things are common sense, and some things you gotta do a little bit more of thinking on. Yeah, 3 months baby. Yeah, that's a fact, official JB. A 3-month-old baby died. Yeah, because once a virus is out, imagine where, imagine, for example, the soil. Imagine the soil. You know what I'm saying? Imagine the soil of where all these people are being buried. All those people are being buried that died of the coronavirus. Imagine planting, or imagine something, a grass or whatever that grows from there. Can it host the virus and still be passed? You know, that's why back in the days they did. You see what they did back in the days. You're not coming on this island, bro. You messed up. You out of here. You going to Hart's Island, North Brother Island. You're going to one of those islands until you're good to come back over here. You see, the thing is that now they can't do that because of all the rights that people have. But back then, you know, when they was on hands-on time, they was basically like, yo, hold up, son. You ain't looking too good right now. You got to go that way. You ain't coming to New York right now. Don't worry about it. You're going that way. And that's what they held those islands for. But with the rights and everything coming through, you already know it's going to be a big court battle. If you put somebody on those islands, they're going to say, you know, KO said the Hunger Games. Yeah, imagine it was like Hunger Games. Sheesh. Man, listen here. Yeah, I'm that was my thing for the day, Joe Mers, on the UFO sightings. I saw that it came up on my feed, but I didn't get to really look into it like I want to. So I got a few videos I got to check on that. Damn, DJ Suge Brian, you got to be careful. I see that. You got to be very careful, bro. Make sure you masked up always. You know, and a lot of people, the things that can make you sick are the things you got to stay away from too. Or the things that can make you sick, you got to stay away from. I ain't gonna lie. You know? But yeah, they had all those bodies and they got 2 summonses for that. And at the end of the day, that's all they can do. They can't arrest them because then you got to give those bodies to somebody else. So they're going to get the summons for inappropriately handling those bodies. And they're going to continue on with the responsibility of dealing with those bodies. It's bugged out, y'all. But remember that number. 300 people to 300, if they said 320 to 350 a day. I was thinking the same thing, Ray Leon Rivera. I was thinking the same thing, Ray Leon Rivera. Because look, I don't know how many people here watch The Walking Dead, but in the beginning of The Walking Dead, look how those people were getting sick, and then turning into the zombie type things that that you know. But look how those people were getting sick, though. That's what I'm talking about. Hit the correlation. You know what I'm saying? You hit the correlation. Yeah, DJ Suge Brian, you got to, man. Drink a lot of tea, too. Make sure you're drinking that tea. You know, right now, the things that's not good to drink, which is why I put so little of it, even in my cereal, is milk. Because milk causes phlegm. You know, milk is not the thing to be drinking, especially in times like this when you can catch a cold, because milk harbors in your system sicknesses. That's why they tell you don't drink milk. You gotta drink anything liquid. Water, juice, tea. Yeah. That's what I'm saying, Pistol Game. It got to be contaminating the soil. You see what I'm saying? Because if it ain't contaminating the soil, then you're telling me that it won't survive unless it's hosted by a living thing. But how is that if it can survive in the air for as much as 8 hours? If it's in, just let me get it correct. It can last in the air for 8 hours if you're in an enclosed spot. So like right here, like this my studio now. You see what I'm saying? If I had and I sneezed in here, it will stay in here for about 8 hours. Now, it's different if I had it and I sneezed out there, then it will stay up, within the air for wherever the wind blows it, whatever, and then it goes down. The problem with that is that it is an airborne, it's airborne. See what I'm saying? Because once it's in the air and it still lives while it's in the air, waiting to grab a host. If not, it'll fall to the ground. Then it's no good. See what I'm saying? But the fact that it can travel in the air is something that's deep. Yeah, that's what came on my feed, Bank Young Guns. I saw it this morning on my feed with the UFO thing. But I just want to see, because you got to be careful, man. It's like when you go to the supermarket, you see that they got this joint called Weekly Reader or something like that. Maybe it's not Weekly Reader. I think that's the joint we got in school. But it's like a weekly edition or something like that. I forgot the name of it. But in there, they show you all types of aliens with bow ties and caps, and they be bugging out. You know what I'm saying? And that's the type of stuff some people read and get all crazy about, and they start saying, yo, you know what I'm saying, ET is real, this, that, and the third. My thing is that, you know, I agree that there's another existence, but my thing is, from what they be showing, that, you know, it's kind of comedic, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not really trying to show us something that makes us think. You're trying to show. Last time I saw Alien, he was on a trailer, and I forgot the name of that movie. It was funny as hell, though. I done seen crazy stuff in the sky. Almighty Sazon, salute. I mean, don't get me wrong, I done seen some crazy stuff too. Eli, I watched something saying most people who die from the virus were non-smokers. It's not affecting smokers as much as non-smokers. I don't know. That's a good one to check out too. I gotta do the tally count on that one. Good point right there, Eli Delgado. Oh, I gotta see that one. Oh, nah, but it was the Pentagon said they exist. Oh, okay. So if the Pentagon is saying that, you already know. That's coming from one of the biggest sources. It was Army Picks. Yeah, because remember, if y'all read that book, Behold a Pale Horse by William Cooper, he said he was on a boat. And when he was on the boat, he saw the thing fly over him and go into the water. I don't know how many of y'all read that book, Behold a Pale Horse, but it's a deep book. If you're a person that's not strong-minded, though, I wouldn't suggest you read the book. If you're a strong-minded person, yeah, read the book. The reason I say if you're not a strong-minded, I don't suggest you read that book, because he can really create a mentality that everything's conspiratorial, and then I've seen some people get crazy with it. Oh, okay, DC Perks read it too, huh? All right. I mean, man, that's a hey. You know how they say, "A one split for a day, keep the evil away." You know what I'm saying? Watch Bob Lazar. Okay. You know, I've been watching a lot of these cats, man. You know, I've been watching a lot of them, and you know, what I do is I take what I can from them, and then the rest I look at is, you know, everybody has a ploy with them. Fauda. It's about Israel and Pakistan. Oh, where's that at? What's that? AMC or Fox? They go in the water because they live near the core of the earth. People are looking outwards when they inwards under us. But my question is, why now, Wildcat, during this time when the Pentagon doing that, something about to happen? Yeah, I mean, look, I don't think that, I can tell you one thing, I don't think this quarantine is coming off. You know what I'm saying? I think it's still going to take some time, man. I think June probably be the time when it. That's why I said, listen, man, I got money invested in studios, and I can't even go and lay no tracks down. So then what I said, you know what? I'm going to build my own joint. I got to build my own spot. You know what I'm saying? Because it looks like people ain't going to be able to open up their studios and none of that for a minute. You know what I'm saying? And then they talking about some testing. A lot of people got to get tested or something. Especially they're doing the testing on those that went through it and survived it. Yeah, man. You know, that's why you see, you know, one thing I learned about that Fidel Castro situation, Papa Saw Money. Look at how the man came over here and learned. He learned governmental structures and stuff over here and in Cuba. That came from over here. And then he already knew what he had to do, and he accomplished what he had to do till he died. So sometimes People can set you up for failure, but the ultimate failure is upon your action. And they say you can't catch it, you can catch it twice. I read that. They said you can't get it twice. Yeah, pistol game. Whenever they say they're gonna open up, it's all false hope. I agree. That's interesting, Ray Leon Rivera. I find that interesting right there. That's something to think about. Right? You know how we say the things that make you go, That's one right there. That's definitely one right there. You know, it's just crazy, man. But it is what it is, man. We got to get this going. But me, I got to get up out of here. You know what I'm saying? Later on, I'm coming on to do Jeopardy. So later on, we got a Jeopardy segment. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get this Jeopardy on. I'm putting it together as we were speaking. So, what's up, Descant? So yeah, we're gonna get this Jeopardy going later on. So get ready, because it's gonna be lit. And I'm setting up like a basic guide to the things I'm going to be putting up. So we're gonna have law library days with just straight law library. We're gonna have days with its history. We're gonna have days with news, days when we chop it up. We're gonna have Jeopardy days. We're gonna have IQ challenges. Yeah. Pilato said what time? Later on in the nighttime, maybe about 7, 8 o'clock. I think it'll be good. It could be good for the people, man. We all just, you know what I'm saying, get our brains fighting for a second. You know what I mean? Because I think that'll be good. Yeah, we're gonna have sports and all that. Sports, yeah. I was looking this morning. They talking about starting the baseball season in June, because that's really when they really want to open everything up, around June. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah. Roll Sundays. And you know what? I'm working on that Roll Sunday. Yeah, I was thinking about doing some funny stuff for Roll Sunday. We definitely gonna have one of those. But definitely sports. You know, and shout out Jay Breezy Farborough, man. You know what I'm saying? He be hitting me up, sending me a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to Lucifer Spartan, excuse me. He be sending me a lot of stuff too. So I be appreciating the stuff I get. April D, salute. Ladybug sent her love. Facts Bank, Young Guns. You already know, man. We holding it strong. E-Dog. E-Dog said, Cat, you came way too far, my son. Got a whole studio behind him now. That's a fact, bro. I told you, man. I'm not playing. It's about to get lit now. It's about to get lit. Trust me. You know what I'm saying? Stay tuned for that next Shot 5 Part 2. And after that, I got nothing but some classic joints just to play in the whip and keep it moving, you heard? E-Dog said, came a long way from that attic. That's a fact. And that's what I was telling the people this morning. I was telling them when we first came on, I was like, yo, man, I said this way when I first started. Like, listen, man, y'all going to see me do it from scratch. And I meant it. Y'all was gonna see me doing straight from scratch. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And I ain't get no stimulus check yet, none of that. This is straight check money. You know what I mean? So, salute to everybody, man. That watched and know that a person did it. You know, there is no excuse when people say, "Yo, I just came home, this, that, and the third. I can't do it." I celebrated my anniversary this month, and look how far I done came. It can be done. Examples are made. They made so you can see them instead of it being told. Anyone can say anything, but not everybody can do anything. Something to think about. You know what I'm saying? I ain't getting check either. Yeah, me either, Papa Saw. I ain't sweating that. When it comes, it comes. I pay my taxes and all that, so I ain't worried about it. You know what I'm saying? It'll come. But I tell you, like I said, it's about that, man. And shout out to DMX, man. Shout out my boy DMX, man. Can't wait till he get about that, man, so I can see him, man. I need to see my boy, man. Shout out my boy DMX, man. Word. This is for my dog. This is for my dog. This is for my dogs. What y'all know about that? But yeah, let me get up out of here, man. I gotta get up out of here. Like I said, we got Jeopardy coming through. Pilato, I'm gonna let y'all know. I'm gonna put y'all on point where I'm about to land it. You heard? Everybody be safe, man. Stay sanitized, man. The information that you got today is for awareness. You know what I mean? We need to be aware of these things, man, because they happening all around us, man. It's not everything that always that you see also. It's what's going on that you can't see. We got to give each other the eye. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm looking this way, but I ain't looking that way, you're looking that way. So you're my eyes. You know what I'm saying? Always remember that, y'all. Salute to the chat, man. Nothing but love. You already know how we do. Spartans in the building. Spartans is up out of here. Be safe, everybody. You know what I'm saying? Stay hopeful. You already know we got this, yo. Right.